afternoon, and welcome to my home office. Happy Wednesday. Who knows what day it is? I was just cleaning my desk, so that wasn't how I started today's stream. Welcome, my name is Jen Schiffer, and I am a dingus. But I'm smart, and that's okay. I hope everyone's doing well. Merry Wednesday, Alexander. Thanks for joining. I'm getting a bunch of text messages, but it's like all like a huge wall of text. It's like in different fonts. It's a political email. We have early voting has started for in Jersey City. We have like a mayoral election, a gubernatorial election, and the Jersey City mayor is running for governor and blah blah blah. Yeah, so now I'm just being like hella spammed. But I did get an email from a salon that I am trying to get a consultation at. My hairstylist, I mentioned probably yesterday, I was complaining about how my hairstylist moved out of the country. I just found out another friend is leaving the country. There we go. I recognized you, your avatar, Cethos. Hey. Oh, Annika, there you go. Smart Dingus energy. Yeah, so I got an email from a salon to set me up with a consultation so that someone can do my hair, because it's getting to be a bit much. It's like currently 78 degrees in my apartment. It's a hot day outside in Jersey City, albeit beautiful. High of 83. Tomorrow the high is going to be 87. So I hope wherever you're at, you're keeping cool or warm if it's cold out, and you're staying hydrated. My drinks of the stream is my sugar-free green tea. And I went out real quick for an almond milk iced latte. I like that the cup kind of looks like the trans flag. Happy Pride. It's actually appropriate that I'm continuing my glitch stream because, as we all know, the glitch fish are bisexual, much like myself. And yeah, so I hope everyone's having as good a pride as society is allowing us to. But for the next hour or so, it's just you and I and my computer and my drinks. Dublin is a crisp 10 degrees Celsius. That sounds nice. I don't know Celsius because I am but a mere American. But Dublin sounds nice. Oh, hey, Jen's in the chat. Hey. Okay, I want to try something new before I get into doing computer stuff. And so if you would join me for a stretch, if you've been sitting at your computer all day so far. I've been trying to do this more as I've been sitting at my computer more to do these streams. So let's all start one by taking a sip of water. Okay. So I want to start by stretching up with your like hands pointed up and like enthusiastically stretching your back and like breathing. Don't forget to breathe. And then shake your arms out. You're going to take one hand, it doesn't matter which one, and you're going to hold it over the opposite side of your head, and you're going to gently stretch it so you can feel the stretch along your neck here. Not too hard though. You might be more flexible or less flexible than me. Remember to continue breathing. And then you're gonna put your hands out like a T. Cactus arms, as my aerial yoga instructor calls it, and probably most people. Um, and then you're gonna pull it back. You're gonna like make your shoulder blades touch. Um, Kind of like when Puma Greg is like stretching. I call it his little chicken wings when they're touching on his back. And then back to resting. And like relax your shoulders and your jaw. Now do the other side. You're gonna put your hand over the other side of the head. Lightly stretch. Remember to breathe. And then shake it out. Now, one thing that I found is really important for aerial yoga and lifting in general is grip strength. And I feel like this has also made me able to type longer without getting fatigued. And what we do is we will stretch our arms out. I'll go to this side. And then in rapid motion, close and open our fists. So we're gonna like do that while I talk to you about my t-shirt. Maybe you can hear my rings clacking. Make sure your arms are straight. I went to get this coffee for myself and Andy because he had a meeting, so he can go with me. And the barista said, "I like your shirt." And I was like, "Thank you." And I joked, I was like, "It's vintage," because it is an old Linkin Park shirt. And he was devastated to hear that. But I was like, "It's okay. We survived the new metal wars. They're coming back. We'll survive it again." Okay. Whew. If you felt a burn, that's good. I'm going to shake my arms out, shake my shoulders out, and shimmy. Okay. And then take a sip of water. Now I'm like awake, warmed up. I have my window open because they're not sanding the cast iron gates anymore. And let's get into what I've been doing. So let's see. Yesterday, yeah, you felt the grabby one in your arms. It's good. It's good for like your forearm and your grip strength, and you just don't normally work those muscles until you feel them when like you strain yourself picking something up or typing too long. Okay. So yesterday's stream ended with me rate limiting myself, just like the old days at work when I worked at Glitch. But it was a good time to end. So here I am at my dashboard. And if you don't know what Glitch is, glitch.com is a web developer community and platform that would auto-deploy your projects, and there was an in-browser editor. I mean, there still is, but they're shutting down project hosting on July 8th. And so all of your apps that are like awake and alive on Glitch will go down on that day. We'll be able to download those projects throughout the rest of the year. And if we move our projects elsewhere, we can create a redirect to send people to where we want them to go. So for example, I think oh yeah, Candle Math I set a redirect for. Well, this one I'm going to create a redirect to makeapitart.com. And these redirects will work through 2026. I set up Candle Math, so I can click Manage Redirect to tell you I set it already. And so candlemath.glitch.me will redirect to where I have moved the project, which is to here. Candle Math. And there you go. It redirected. Magique. The team literally dropped that yesterday. So those are only 2 redirects I've managed to set because it only came up yesterday. What I've been doing, this is the 6th installation of, is me going through all of my projects on my dashboard to see which ones I'm going to move to my static website, jenschiffer.com/glitch. I'll show you here. This is Nova. This is my local editor. So here I have a folder glitch, and I've moved that candle math project, a couple of them in here. Let's we can actually go to jenschiffer.com/glitch. And I just made like a page here, and I'll just list all of them as I add them. This is just like an HTML list. I'll have to edit this as I add to it. But yeah, did you know you can draw on the back of jenschiffer.com? I updated the colors to match my future candle store launching later this week or next week, probably later this week. Anyway, that's what I've been doing. But before I put them live, I have to go through each app and see like what it is. Do I want to keep it? So the July 8th, which is still a little over a month away, is the deadline for if your projects should be live, if they need to be live, you're going to want to migrate them. I've shown how I migrated my static apps to jenschiffer.com, which is a DigitalOcean app platform static site. What I want to do today is get through the rest of the year 2022. I think I ended it in March before I was rate limited. And then I want to migrate my partner Andy's website that I had built for him years ago on Glitch. I want to migrate that onto the static, to the DigitalOcean app platform. And it's a 11D site. I imported it. Let me show you the folders. Here are the folders that I've been using as I go through. .com is what I want to add to jenschiffer.com/glitch. These are projects from back when Gareth led marketing and we just had like a ton of apps, even apps from before I even like, back when it was called Hyperdev, so shortly before I joined. This is stuff that's related to my blog, apps that I've linked to on Live Laugh blog, and so I definitely want them to be live so that my links don't break, or I go back into Live Laugh blog and fix those links. These are Node apps that I think I want to keep alive. I have to figure it out. Like Apology Hero, I definitely want to stay live. But I haven't migrated anything to a Node server yet. I'm kind of like paying attention to what people are saying in the support forum as to like where they're migrating stuff. So there's a few forum posts in support.glitch.com that you want to check out. One is the bulk project downloading. There is no UI, and like the team's not really being given the time to build like a proper feature that is accessible to everyone of all different program experiences. But to get you started, Pomax made a Python script where you can bulk download all your projects, and it includes all the CDN assets. So if you dragged an image into the Glitch editor, it ends up in this like in the like assets page. That's dropping it into an S3 bucket that's separate from your actual code. So when you download your projects, as I've been doing from here, it's not downloading those assets, but this will download all of them. And I've done that. Let me show you. That's what this folder is here. And I ran that script. And here's a folder of all of my Glitch projects from that bulk script. Or at least the ones that weren't suspended. And Andy's website should be here because I built it. There we go. So there's this, and then there's a Glitch Assets folder that has all the images. The thing is I will have to go in and replace all the URLs with the right referencing the images in this folder, which might be a pain. I don't know. This whole thing is a fucking pain, but you know, I don't get to control how the world works. It could be worse. So shouts out to the Glitch team for making the circumstances as easy to go through as possible. I think I was going to make a video on how to run the script, and then I got into this like state of where I was just kind of staring at a screen, and like ADHD was like, I was in paralysis. That's why I went for a walk for my iced latte. Anyway, check this one out. And then there's a couple of pinned threads where people are, well, Casey discussed how to redirect your subdomains, which I showed you. People are talking about where to migrate stuff. The project hosting discussion thread is just, actually, I'm not even gonna click it. It's pissed me off. And then the team has worked on migration guides that I have to look at. I haven't looked at them yet, but I know that they exist. So we scroll down to migration guides. This is no fault of the glitch team, but our beautiful help center looks so fucking ugly with this Salesforce product. Not the glitch team's fault. Fastly made them migrate in quite a rush, it seems. But there's migration guides on how to move stuff. And Jen's getting the help guides updated this week again. Great. So check that out. I'm probably going to try out Render. I'm not using GitHub Pages. I'm using DigitalOcean for my static sites, and managing my custom domains. I haven't used Netlify in like 5 years. But after I get through the last like couple of years of projects on Glitch, then on stream I will start exploring these different options. Like I'm looking at trying out Render. I have a couple of Dino apps, and Dino's got a great platform that I've already been using. So we'll figure out how to migrate stuff there. But what we're going to do today is continue through the blast from the past, the year 2022. And I've had the blog open. Looks like you've only got 2 projects you need to care about redirecting. That's great. That's easy peasy. Lemon squeezy, as they say in the mid-Atlantic. Okay, so I wanted to have the blog open so we could see what was going on in the blog at that time. I have this. This is the script that Pomax made. I was looking at the revisions. I had asked him if the limit can be over 1,000, and he just updated it, which I tried that and it still failed. So I thought that maybe the back end like API had like a limit of, I had set it to 700. I thought it was too big, but it turns out that this script breaks if it hits a suspended project. And most of you probably do not have suspended projects. I had several suspended projects just because, one, I'm a bad boy, but no, because if you've been following these streams, there are projects where I would intentionally get them suspended to test our tool that looked for malicious code. And so if you do hit a project when you're running that script and there's an error, just create a folder in the folder. Like here, let me find an example. There's an app, I think Devrel Old. Yeah, there's nothing in here. This was suspended, I think for a preparing error. I don't know. And so I just created a folder Devrel Old so I could run the script and it would just pass over it. Also, if you run the script again and it detects the folder, it'll be like, okay, you downloaded it already, so they'll skip it. And it didn't take long to run this, so. But that doesn't solve my problem with which ones do I want to keep alive. That's why I'm going through each one of them. So let's rock. Okay. So we made it through. Okay, we got to March. Here we go. MongoDB, oh yeah, MongoDB async and sync are the bookmarks. So let's start with, let me clear out these. And I'll pin this. Grid Babe. Oh, this is cute, actually. I know what that is. Grid Babe was a import. This is a project Andy made for me. Kark. Wow, Andy made this for me as like a gift a while ago. This is an app for drawing using the Cricut, because we have like a pen attachment on it, a grid with different drawings. Andy built this, and yeah, so we like use the Cricut as a plotter, and he made this app so that I can easily draw grids and stuff, because I usually draw them by pencil on hand, and this is for like test stuff, and I updated it so that it can be imported into Glitch. This I'm fine with just running locally, but if I wanted to keep it running, I think, is it static? I think it could be static, but I don't know, I'll keep that in. Actually, I'll put that in archive. Kark is the name of, well, Kark is Mark spelled with 2 Ks. It was like a weird tweet or something like that. And when Andy and I first started hanging out, our first time hanging out was I went over to his place to use his laser cutter when he lived in Long Island. And Kark is an acrylic ruler that I designed, and he helped me cut so that I can try to draw grids easier for my what do I call the pixel art when it's on paper? I forget. Manual pixel art. Here are the Karks. This is Kark 1.0. So that I can just quickly with the pencil draw over it, or I can put like ink on the tips and put it there on the edges so that I don't have to mark every tick on the grid. I'm not explaining this well, but that's okay. And then I have Kark 2.0, which is like, what if we do it instead of pointy, we just do it as like just the divots inside. And then for some reason we cut 2 versions of Kark 3.0. This is like 2017. Andy's birthday's on Friday, by the way, so say happy birthday to Andy. That's why I will not be streaming on Friday. I'll stream tomorrow, not Friday. His birthday's on Friday in a couple of months. It's our 8-year anniversary. But yeah, he made me this. I love apps as a gift. A Baft Seed Health. Looks boring, whatever it is. Let's see. Is this merely a remix of a starter, or did I actually edit it? Nope. There's Sue. Hi, Sue. Let's archive that. So, February, we... Okay, February, we teamed up with DigitalOcean to add a deploy to DO button to the glitch editor. And we launched the beta for wanting to test Fastly's Compute at Edge. It used to be called Compute at Edge. It's just called Compute now. On glitch. That is not happening. But that's what we're trying. This is a few months before the acquisition. This is when we were like, it was like, we wanted to plant the seed that we would, like, we might end up with either DigitalOcean or Fastly or any other companies we were talking to. Those are like the two. And through that, we're like, look, we can show that we can ship quickly. And we did, because like our team is really fucking good. And so, okay, so this is a DigitalOcean deployment app. And what would happen is if your env file had these variable names in it, it would show the deploy to DigitalOcean button here. And you can just deploy it, which was pretty neat. We had years before did a similar partnership with Firebase. And if you had the Firebase env variable, a little like button would like show up. And then nobody used it. And then Firebase is like pivoted, like they're now like an AI tool now. It's part of Google. They're like, no one's using it, and that's because at that time nobody like was using Firebase, and that's why they're trying to partner with companies to get more people to use it. You can bring your product to the coolest, most creative community, but if your product is like hard to use, or the coolness doesn't escape the bubble of like the glitch editor, like that's kind of like a you problem. A lot of people are using the deploy to DigitalOcean button though. Like I was using it. Now I just use, I export my project or like push changes to my GitHub repo, and then that triggers the app platform. So this is like using glitch instead of GitHub, which would have been nice to keep having because I hate having to use GitHub. But yeah, that's just like a starter thing. We don't need that. Starter Winston. Okay, this is an app that I made quite a while ago. This is definitely going in the starters folder. Winston is a package to create persistent logs. So in the glitch editor, you have logs here, but these are not persistent. You want to be able to create a file to save them to. I think that's what this one does. And so I just created this to show people how to use Winston, because people say like, oh, how do I create logs? So yeah, this creates a file called Winston log. So if I do ls, I'm gonna open up Winston. Actually, I can hit refresh and it should be in the sidebar. No, for some reason it's not. Well, I'm gonna... So just... The file is like the logs. Oh yeah, what time? Let's see how far back. Hello World, 2024. So yeah, that's just a starter I made to help people. Da-da-da-da. Starter Winston old. I wonder what that is. It's probably an old version. So whatever. We don't need that. Let's just open the next 5. This is another just like DigitalOcean. This is if you have the variables but not all of them. Yeah, these aren't anything. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So now we're at the beginning of 2022, the end of the year from this path. Let's see what's going on in January. We had let's see. So Anil is trying to help make the metaverse happen. We did have some cool virtual projects on Glitch. So our whole thing was like, okay, if there's gonna be a metaverse, like let's like not let Mark Zuckerberg take the credit for work in a community that has actually existed for quite some time. And it went through like all those examples. And there were a lot of VR and 3D apps being made on Glitch. We did the beta. Wordle Mania. Again, yesterday's stream, I showed you the distribution from Twitter mentions around this time, and it was all hurdles and wordles. It was huge. People are making so many different takes on those games, putting it on Glitch. In fact, I'm pretty sure the creator of Wordle built his prototype for it on Glitch. I believe that's right. We launched, I guess you would say, the last real visual edit of the editor. There were a ton of cool A-Frame apps on Glitch. Because A-Frame School, which is the official docs and learning materials for A-Frame, used Glitch. I hope they know that this is going away. But yeah, so that was it. That was updates to the editor around this time. This is also around the time where we had hired, I don't know, January's when we had hired a bunch of contractors to help us. We're a very, very small team. We're going through the acquisition talks. I don't know, Jen, if you're in the chat, if you can confirm when you joined the team. I think this is around the time we started augmenting the team. And then when one thing I'll give Fastly props for is when they acquired us, all the people that are contractors were offered full-time jobs, and everyone did join us. So there was only a couple of us that were like full-time, because we weren't going to hire full-time people, because if we didn't get acquired, like we didn't know like what the future was, so it wouldn't be really good faith to hire like a full-time person not knowing what the future of it was. So people came on as like full-time contractors, but then got offered permanent, I hate calling them permanent, employees. Okay, 2021. Okay, that's it. So I'm off by like a little over a year. Okay, that makes sense. That's how long the acquisition process was. In terms of like talking to people and making a case, whatever. That's why I say it was like a year-long job interview. Yeah, cool. Okay. Let's get into January. I'm just gonna open all of January 25th. Okay, so this is Okay, so these are just remixes. I didn't edit anything. SQLite 3 with Sequelize is this might be, yeah, this is when Gareth and I were doing stuff. This is definitely a starter. Because when we launched Glitch, we had hello website, hello node, but people were like, how do I add a database? And Glitch had a very constrained disk space limit. Boop. I remember like we launched and then Dan Abramoff shouts out, reached out and was like, oh, create a React app is too big to fit on Glitch. I think it was like 256 is like the limit. We didn't have, we were not using PMPM. There's no like node package symlinking back then in 2017. We walked uphill both ways to the app mines. And so your node modules counted towards your disk space. And so he was like, create React app is too big for a glitch app. Can you make glitch apps bigger? And I was like, can you make create React apps smaller? Because having it be that big is crazy. And they did update it so that it would fit, but it was still very clunky. And then like we discovered PMPM and it had symlinking for packages before NPM did, which is why PMPM was used for the older versions of projects. So then that made it so that node modules did not count towards your disk space, which changed the game. But SQLite was like the easiest and like most lightweight database management system to add to Glitch. Really to any project. One mirror, one wow test, one. What could this possibly be a test for? Nothing. I don't know, maybe I was renaming things to test. I don't know. Another DO test. DO test. DO test. DO test. This is okay, hello DigitalOcean node is the starter. Okay, archive. I'll download the starter. DO test. Digital Void. I helped a friend out with his company's Squarespace site, and I think I did the prototype on Glitch. I don't know if it's still live. Squarespace site. I think I did the prototype. Where's Whoa, what's... Oh my gosh. I was like, why is my phone starting to play my stream? That's scary. I didn't even touch my phone. Okay, the website doesn't exist anymore. We could look at it then. Why did my phone start playing the stream? Okay. So, this is, Digital Void was a non-profit thing that Ryan Broderick, who I did a Twitch stream with, he does Garbage Day. If you're not subscribed, you should subscribe. But it was a Squarespace site, which is why it's wonky, because this isn't Squarespace. I have my old Live Laugh blog Tumblr theme, and it looks crazy on Glitch. But this is what I was using to like hold assets and all of that. This is really just like a repo for stuff. Did I download this for the archive? Yeah. I did not like making a Squarespace site. They make it very hard to customize it. Have a happy Wednesday. Thanks for joining me, Alex. Ooh, okay. Where are we at? Okay. Gosh, we're almost at the end of 2022, folks. Let's just open all of these. I have a yoga class, aerial yoga class. I only go aerial. I don't do regular yoga. So I say yoga, I'm talking about silks, which is important context because there's lots of pull-ups and like planking. There's probably lots of planking in regular yoga. But that's why I do the grip strength stuff, because there's a lot of like pulling up like on the silks. Anyway, it's a mixed level class. This is an instructor who's like super jacked. She's great. It's like 85 degrees, and I'm just archiving all these because I don't need them. It's like 85 degrees outside. The studio owners are very stingy with the air conditioner. I hope it's on today. But this class is going to be like plank, push-up, balancing on one leg heavy. It's going to be rough. I've been like... It's weird, like... I mentioned my weekly retro. I went to it for the first time last week. I normally do foundational on Mondays and Thursdays, and then Wednesdays mixed level. And I went to the mixed level the first time. But this instructor covered for a foundational last year. And I was like, damn, she's tough. But I know that I'm going to level up and also get jacked if I take her course. So that's why I'm going back. I'm going to this. I was sore for like 4 straight days this past week. And now I'm like not as sore. And the foundational course on Monday was very plank heavy, so now my arms are a little sore. And I'm gonna go to this class, and I just like feel it in my like hot sexy bones that she's gonna be having us do push-ups, and I'm gonna want to die. I've been like dreading it ever since last night, but I can just not go, you know. But it's like, oh no, I'm gonna go. It's just like, it's weird to be like, I can't wait to go and have my fucking ass handed to me. And I'm paying for it too. Isn't that crazy? I don't know. Maybe I'm just like built weird. Okay. December. Tender. Oh, I have the blog open here. Okay, so December was VR heavy. We had updated Glitch in Bio like a month after we had launched it. We did a showcase of them. So a lot of VR stuff. Because again, this is when like metaverse was on the brain. Whether we liked it or not. God, remember like early 2022, everything was about fucking Web3, and like before that and during that it was all metaverse, and now it's like all AI. You can't tell me that like these aren't hype cycles. They're real technologies, and they're not going fully away in some sense, but you can't tell me, like, everyone's acting normal about this stuff. I don't know. I posted a thread about, like, my thoughts on AI discourse last night, and, I have not looked at my mentions. Who knows if people are acting fucking normal on Blue Sky or not. But yeah, that was December. Let's see what apps I have on December. Node.js launcher. This is probably me testing something out. Confirmed work. I know I didn't write this. Who made this? Oh, Yanlei. I remember Yanlei. So that's just the user's project I was supporting them on. KaleidoKit. KaleidoKit is a really cool TensorFlow VTuber project. Let's see if it can detect my face. Yeah. Ooh. Let's see what kaleidoface.com looks like right now. Full body tracking now. Okay, it's not exactly precise, but this is by, I forgot, E-Machine. Oh yeah, it was Rich. I think Rich was their name. I think they ended up working at Google. I'm gonna download this into my remixes folder. Archive. Open Studio. Whoa. Wow, I totally forgot about this. Holy moly. Oh, hey, Marty. Welcome back to the dig. 2021. Okay. So I totally forgot that I made this. This is just like, someone was like, oh, I want to make a portfolio. And, oh my gosh, I never like went public with this. Oh, that's sick. Holy crow. It's weird when like I find like a project, you know, that I never I'm gonna put that in the left log because I want to finish that and share that. That's cool. It looks neat. I guess. Oh wow, that's pretty cool. I have this painting hanging up in my living room. It's Fin, who's one of the first virtual pets. If you remove the credit and try to make it look like you painted this pixelated half dolphin, half bird, the stolen valor would actually have the opposite effect on your reputation than you expect. It's a ridiculous painting. Wow, I'm very funny. That's crazy. I totally forgot about this. I must have been really distracted by a long, grueling acquisition process. I don't need to keep it because I have never shared it publicly. That's crazy. Let's see. What is this? Oh, this is me giving someone support. Okay, November. November, we updated Glitch and Bio. We launched progressive web app starters. What was this about? Oh yeah. There's people who are talking about phishing on Glitch, which there's phishing on every hosting platform. And so Neil wrote about that. And we launched Glitch in Bio. What a fruitful and productive month. Glitch in Bio is great. So let's see. Bitch in Bio. I wonder what that is. Open Studio old? I can't believe I was making a portfolio app. Oh, is this just redirecting? Okay, it's just... I was like, why is this going to my website? It's redirecting to... So, okay, that's funny. I was just squatting the username, bitch in bio, the project name to redirect to jenschiffer.com. Okay, that's funny. I'm funny. Don't let anyone tell you differently. Oh. Okay, this is a remix of... So I made Andy's website. That's what... Okay, I made Andy's website with 11T. Because he was using some, like, portfolio platform. And he wanted to look like that. And so I did that. This is on Glitch right now. So this is an 11D site. With all of his stuff. And I made this really cool navigation. Like, this is... I popped off with this. And I think that... What does it look like? Yeah. Looks pretty nice on mobile. So when I was showing him how this worked, I was like, we were like talking. I was saying, do not. He started typing, and I was like, LOL, when you update, the site rebuilds. Like, I was like, stop typing the readme, because the site kept rebuilding, because it was all the MD files are being washed in 11T. That's funny. So this is my first version of it. Look at this little clip art. That's funny. But I don't need it. It's old. What is this? Oh, this is, someone made the Game Boy in CSS and imported it into Glitch, which is cool. I don't need it though. Day.js. Someone might have asked how to use Day.js, and I probably built this starter. Did I build this? It looks like something I would make. Yeah. I did this. And Day.js is like a moment. Yeah. It's like Moment.js, but like baby sized. Because Moment.js became like a massive package at some point. Love Moment.js though. So this is just a starter I made. Someone probably asked for it. I wasn't really making that many like starters at this point, but someone asked for it, I would make it. And then Cut Foul Drifter, probably just a remix. Yeah. Okay. We're to October 2021. October, wasn't much going on then, I guess. But this is a point where we were working on Glitch in Bio, or like building it. Maybe we can find the early prototype I made for Glitch in Bio. Let's see. Okay. Bum, bum. Wow, I was busy on October 29th. What did I edit here? Okay, I was just testing out node versions there. Oh, my foot fell asleep. Probably doing the same here. This might have been a time where we finally got node 16 on Glitch. Yeah, or 14. Carmen VR. Okay, so this is a Carmen Herrera painting. She's one of my favorite artists. And this is an A-frame app where I just added a project. I gave a workshop at the Lower East Side Girls Club, teaching high school girls how to build an A-frame. And so I had them pick like a piece of art that they liked, whether it was a piece of art or a poster or a photo, and we made like a virtual gallery of them. And Carmen VR was my Jen's base for creating virtual reality experiences. So that was like my starter for that workshop. Just some starters. Okay, early Glitch in Bio. This is probably my starter for making the A-frame app, but let's open up the next one. There. Okay. So I don't think I edited anything here. It's just like the standard. This is like the hello world of A-frame. Yeah, there's Diego's face. Wilhelm JS. Could you try to guess what Wilhelm JS is? This is a joke. I had tweeted about how responsive design should mean that as the screen size changes, it screams. And somebody made it, Steve from 6. They did it with jQuery, and I made a vanilla JS version of it. I'm gonna increase. Let me pause the pop punk for a second. And it just plays the Wilhelm screen as the window size changes. So this is like responsive design. Actual responsive design. Let's put the pop punk back on. I don't know if you heard that. I will be making this live again on .com. So let's... I don't know why I made that private. Who visualized the bump? This was a CSS like video thing I made for a talk I gave at Web Rebels, which is a developer conference in Oslo, Norway. So I gave a talk in 2015, and then they invited me back to MC CSS Conf Nordic, which happened along with Web Rebels. So I've been to Oslo twice, and I love it there. My mom's side of the family is from Norway, but I'm the only person alive on that side. And it's just like, can you guess without reading the README or the project name, what this was inspired by? Also, I couldn't play the actual song. So it would just play a MIDI file. So that was funny. Oh, okay. Anyway, it's a recreation of the music video for Le Tigre's Decepticon. And the talk I gave was about the web audio API and CSS art, if I recall correctly. It's a fun talk. Actually, the band tweeted that this was cool as hell. So that's all I needed to hear. I'll put this on .com. Why not? Pixel div. Did I make this private? I don't know why I made that private. Oh. So it's a jQuery plugin that turns images into divs. I made this a long time ago. This is like before I joined Glitch. I think I made this when I was in MBA because it was a jQuery plugin. Does it not work? Oh, that's why. It's trying to load an old CDN of jQuery. That's interesting. Maybe that's why I made it private, because it's broken. I'm going to download that. That's going to go in the archive. Then Fierce Oil. Wow, remember when my email was jen@fogcreek.com? What's happening here in the logs? This is really old. It's a library for converting color values, and for some reason I'm using QNit. This is like, remember test-driven development? When I started Jersey Scripts, which is like our local developer meetup, I started with my former coworker, pal Nick. He also wrote in CSS Perverse with me. We made a cake, I think, for the second Jersey Script, and it was just like a sheet cake, and we wrote in red letters TDD. We were just making fun of like DHS, David Hamburger Helper, being like, test-driven development, like, you gotta do it, blah, 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 blah. I did come from, before Fog Creek, Boku, which is heavy on test-driven development, which is why every project was so slow. But this, why isn't it not, why isn't it starting? I want to know like what the conversion library is actually doing. I think it's just like an API. Yeah. It's a library for color conversion stuff. Actually, the test file will tell us what it's supposed to do. Okay. So with make8bitart.com, there's a lot of like conversion between hex and RGB because there are different ways to input images. So I got really good at like doing that stuff, and I made this library to help with that. I'm gonna explore this further, but I'm gonna put that in archive, and I'm gonna archive it. Okay, let's finish October and see where we go from there. I think congrats Sean is like when Sean was getting married. Sean is a member of the team. Sean rules. I miss Sean. Fellow Jersey pal. Okay. This is just Glitch and Boo. It's me demoing Glitch. Translucent. Just a remix. Just a remix. Hot dog stand in bio. So we wanted the community to make their own themes for Glitch and Bio, and as you saw from when I did in the earlier stream, Glitch Community Code Jams for Style Sheet, Hot Dog Stand is like my like hello world of theme stuff. So this is just the original Glitch and Bio with the Hot Dog Stand theme. I'm gonna put that in archive. Don't need to make it live, but I want to save it. Oh, cool. Lipstick robot. This is inspired by Simone Yairtz's lipstick robot. Anil was attending TED, and he told me he was speaking, and I made apps inspired by people who were speaking, and Simone Yairtz was speaking. Simone and I met each other. We both spoke at XOXO in 2016. Very cool chick. She's great. Also, we had we last talked when she was going through, she had like a tumor. It was like a benign tumor. I had the same kind, but mine was growing in a different direction, and I was able to shrink it with medication. But she seems to be thriving. She made her lipstick robot, and I made an app that when you upload it, it probably uses, what library is it, TensorFlow? Tracking.js, to look at where your mouth is, and it would put this like little lip gif I made. And this is my pal Aaron. Shouts out Aaron. I'm gonna put this in .com. I'll keep it. Abrasive. Oh, this is just a remix of the Starter React Redux app. And yeah, I think Sean was getting married, and we made a congrats app for that. Or, I don't think they had their kid back then. I think that was later on. Anyway. Okay, here we are in September. September, introducing playlists. This is a remix of an older version of organizing apps. They like look cooler. What were they called before that? They weren't called bookmarks. Collections. We called them collections, and then we completely redesigned and re-architected them and launched them as playlists because that worked with like the metaphor we had with glitch, like remix, you know, music stuff. And yeah. So let's see. Oh, Hello Links test. That might be the first prototype I made that then became Glitch in Bio. I like made a version and then the team took it and made it like better and nicer and launched it, which is how a lot of this stuff would come about. But yeah, let's open up all September. We got Goo Goo Reader, Shining Suave Hide, Plastic Mini Wandflower, Tough Midi Lemonade, Snapdragon Nearness, Splendid Pepperhorn, and Hello Latex. Okay. So this is the simple web worker. I didn't build this demo. Yeah, someone else did. So it's probably just helping somebody. Oh yeah, it's MDN's example. Hello Links. No, this isn't the early prototype, because this is using Vite, and yeah, this is my first version. Yeah, that's not it. We haven't come to that point in time yet. Hello React. What is this? Did I do anything here? No, it's old. Oh. Steven. I wonder how Steven's doing. Steven used to make a bunch of cool stuff on Glitch. So this API to get users projects. That was splendid. Let me archive. What was Google Reader? Oh, Boobo Reader. So this is... Who made this? This is one of the things where I was like, I'm gonna finish this, and then never did. George Mandis. There you go. Updated it 5 months ago. Ah, yes. It was a deploy to glitch thing. I probably saw it when I was doing community insights. I'm going to save that in remixes because I want to revisit that. That's also a funny name that I made. Splendid. This... This is my timeline? Okay. Yeah, you change the user ID in the fetch call. So timeline... Oh, this is cool. Whoa, look at all the text down there. See? It works. Because look how... That's pretty cool. This isn't gonna, like, mean anything, when hosting goes down, but I do want to check that out. Hello LaTeX. This... Oh. Maybe I was gonna make a starter using... I don't know if you pronounce this latex or LaTeX. It's always been a debate. But when I was in college and had to use it for writing all of my papers, we called it LaTeX. I guess I was going to make a starter and was holding that. So, whatever. Okay. Pixon loop. Oh. We're getting to some good stuff. Okay, we're in August. I think that I'm going to end the stream after I get through August. Unless I get rate limited. We launched new glitch.new. That was fun. We had like done glitch.new in 2020. I made a whole video of Google, and then COVID happened and people left the project, people joined. Shouts out to the Google register team. Well, I don't even know they exist because they sold Google domains to Squarespace, right? Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, Pixon loop. Okay. Pixon loop is remix. Shout out to Noelle. Hope Noelle's doing well. Pixon loop lets you import Pixon, which I had mentioned. It's the thing that I made forever ago. It's like a standard for using JSON to represent pixel art. And you can import, export into Pixon loop to test it out. I probably will add this to .com. Okay, screenshots. Glitch beta. This is like when we first launched Glitch, made by Fog Creek. So we were still part of Fog Creek. This probably uses Puppeteer. So if I try to run it, it probably... Oh, it might work. Okay. This gets the most recent screenshots of the most recent Glitch projects using Puppeteer. We were testing out... Anil was like, what if we show thumbnails of people's projects? But our starters were not very, like, nice looking. They're very, like, blank. And then, like, a lot of stuff was, like, VR, which didn't screenshot well. And then also Puppeteer became, like, a problem. The fact that it's, like, running on here is really interesting. But that was a prototype I built to take screenshots to enhance discovery. Probably not going to run this on a server anywhere, but I'll put this in Too Old to Care. But it's an interesting concept. Maybe I will use... I haven't used Puppeteer in forever, but I don't know. Some links! Okay, this is one of the early prototypes. We were going to do a link in bio app with data stacks with their team. And so I built this where we used their Astra starter, and it's database driven. Astra is a database user API to make a glitch in bio. So you can see the vision. I think I don't know if yeah. So this is what Glitch in Bio originally looked at when I made the first iteration of it using a database. And we're going to do a stream with data stacks to show you how to make it. But they really just wanted to do a live stream where we recreated a Netflix page or something like that. And I was like, we can't make we can't recreate the Netflix login page because we will get reports for phishing. And yeah, but that was like what did well for them on their streams. But I was like, please do not make hundreds of people make a fake Netflix login page on Glitch, because I was also handling all of the like abuse reports, and that was a problem. Like teachers would be like, oh, for class A we're gonna like recreate the Instagram login page, and so then Facebook would reach out with reports of being like there's phishing, and it's like it wasn't phishing, it was students recreating your page, but it is like copyright infringement, the design and logo and stuff like that. It was a huge pain. Painus in the anus. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna archive this. Or no, I'm gonna put not too old to care. Pitch Wool Clef. Probably just a remix. This too. I don't know what I was doing here. Oh, here we go. Oh, okay, cool. Let me go through this first. Archive. So I made the data stacks demo, and then I started writing an outline. This is like how my mind works. Glitch was like not just like my app development platform, it was also my notebook. So there are apps here that are literally just like me writing stuff out within like a starter app. And so I created kind of like a loose script of how we go through Glitch, configuring links. Oh yeah, we're using Astra for like analytics, so we can like save like how many times people clicked like different links or whatever. So that's what this was. So this is literally just me like scratch noting stuff. I'm gonna save that. Too old to care. But that's fun to see. The mind of a sicko at work. I think I was just supporting somebody here. Okay. We got Glitch Hello JavaScript. Let's get through August. So Sue did an incredible job of making this course to teach you JavaScript. Sue did like a lot of really good work on like how to use Glitch as a tool for education, how to use the editor and walk you through different stuff in like internal anchor points and all of that. It's not my project to archive or anything like that, but very cool stuff. This is probably just a remix. This is a remix of the 11D base blog. Yeah, okay. Let's archive that. And that comes into August. So how many? July was the original, like we were thinking we would get acquired by then. It took a whole extra year. But yeah, this is like a few months before. This is when like Jen and the rest of the team had joined. So got through August. Let me write my notes. That today's the 4th. June 4th. And got from 3, 2. We got from March of 2022 backwards into August. So we want to start with July. Tomorrow, which is June 5th. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll probably be really freaking sore. How much? We got July, June, April. Okay. I don't know if I'll be able to finish 2021 tomorrow, but we can try. My gosh. What a journey. But yeah, I think I'm going to cap it off there. It's a healthy hour and a half long stream. Got through August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. 8 months of apps. I'm going to, and my coffee's finished, so I'm gonna use the restroom. I'm gonna stretch a little bit more. Actually, let's do another. Let's do an end of stream stretch. Marty, you weren't here from the beginning, but I'm starting the streams off with a stretch. We're gonna do another one. Okay, so let me make sure you can hear me. Okay, so you're gonna stretch your arms up, put your hands together, and energetically stretch up towards the sky, pulling your shoulders away from your torso if possible. Okay, and remember to breathe as you're doing it. Okay, let's shake it out. Take one hand on the other side of the head and gently stretch so you can feel it down your neck through your shoulder. And breathe into the stretch. Gently rest, shake your head. No. Yes. And then do the other side. Hand over ear. Gently stretch. Okay. Release. Shake your head no. Shake it yes. Okay. We're going to cactus arms. Keep your torso straight. Your spine's going up to the sky, and your arms are going to squeeze back so you can try to get your shoulder blades to touch. They probably won't. If they do, good for you. And like feel your back stretch. Even like let's pulse. Or keep it mostly back. Elbows at your shoulder length. Even I gotta lift. Great. Okay. Drop your arms down. Let your shoulders be loose. Okay. And then we're going to take one arm and pull it close to us. Hold on to your elbow. And look towards the shoulder that's bent. And breathe. Okay. Let your arms drop. Take your shoulders and do the other arm. Okay, then drop it. Roll your shoulders back. Circles 5 times. And then reverse circles. Okay, and then take a sip of water. Okay. Time to go. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll probably be back tomorrow, the last stream of the week, because Friday's Andy's birthday. But thank you for joining me. And we'll revisit the first half of the year 2021 tomorrow. Maybe the same time. Make sure to like and subscribe And if you hit the bell, you'll get alerts of when I'm going live. Or you can follow me on Blue Sky, jenschiffer.com, Mastodon, gardenstate.social/.jen. But all that contact info's on jenschiffer.com, which was built on Glitch, but now has been deployed to DigitalOcean's app platform. Okay. Have a good day. Bye-bye.